What's up everyone, it's Dusty Gogoat. Welcome back to my headcanon. Today I am joined by my friend and Pokemon creator, KamTendo. Together we cover two rumors about Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. We review a range of topics including Generation 9 battle mechanics, legendary Pokemon, and the nature of an open world Pokemon game. Enjoy the video. Today I am joined by the power of KamTendo. Cam, how you doing, man? Welcome to the show.
I'm really excited to be here and read some rumors with you. Yeah, let's dive into it.
So this first rumor we have, there's a picture of an old man, and I really do think it might be Tom Hanks. It says that the legendary Pokemon for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet are going to be themed around nature. This is something that we have seen, Cam. The ridiculous yet probably very true orange theory, like fruits are nature. What do you think about this?
I think it would be pretty interesting. I mean, I feel like it'll be less about grapes and oranges, but more on something like time travel, since in the trailer there was the time going backwards or forwards. It was going haywire. But I do think that the grapes and oranges have something to do with, our school uniforms, because I feel like we're going to be from rival schools rather than the legendaries exactly. I just feel like that's going to be a recurring theme in the game, but not really the tie in with the legendaries, if you catch my drift.
That's like a really good point. Actually, the way you said it about how even though like the legendaries might be represented by these two fruit, but in reality that's not going to be the overall theme. It's really just going to be like a not superficial, but just kind of like a shallow way of looking at it. Like they will be represented by these two different fruit. I'm kind of thinking right now, maybe if we have any Spanish listeners, I get the feeling that maybe the grape and orange connection might have to do with the history of Spanish, where maybe the past is all about grapes. Again, I don't know if this is true, but maybe the past is like grapes were something that was very commonly grown in Spain, and then where maybe oranges were imported, and that is a way that they could represent past and future. It's definitely way more, how else are you going to market past and future? How do you boil those massive concepts down into a single object? This rumor goes on to say that one of these legendary Pokemon are going to be a humanoid fairy, very similar to Gardevoir, and it'll heal things with nature. And then the other Pokemon... Right. Oh, yeah.
I'm looking at this. I'm just thinking that I'm not really sure how a humanoid Pokemon would do well as a title legendary, marketing-wise, because most Pokemon, especially title legendaries, have always been in a specific animal. I don't really think we've ever had a title legendary that isn't a animal-like creature, so
that's a good point.
I kind of don't see that happening unless they have two alternate forms. But then again, they could be trying something different. You really don't know.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point. I mean, anything that you could say is humanoid is not really humanoid. All the humanoid legendaries are is Blastoise humanoid?
No, he's kind of just
it's a turtle.
He's just a turtle on
yeah.
So I mean, if it's something akin to say Gardevoir, Glade.
Yeah.
And in terms of humanoid legendaries, I can't really think of any. The things that comes to mind to me are the commies, Thundurus, Tornadus, Landorus, and now Enamorus.
Yeah.
And Deoxys, I don't really see anything I don't really see them using something that's on two legs as promotional material, unless it's for TCG. But when you think of something that's a title legendary, you think of the two wolves from Gen 8.
Yeah. Think of a giant beast. I think
you're I was gonna say Xerneas and Yveltal or Solgaleo Lunala, something that's cool and marketable, not really something you would want to see and think that's cute. I want that as a title legendary, something like that.
That's a really good point, and I think it also what they're probably trying to do is draw a contrast between the massive, the final form bosses, right? Those cover legendaries, to draw a contrast between those and the starter Pokemon, which typically start out really, as cute pets and then evolve into humanoid companions. At least in the last 10 years, that's kind of what the trend of a starter Pokemon has been. So I think you get a really good point there. It says that the other Pokemon, and this goes against your theory, the other Pokemon is based on a troll or a goblin, who in this Pokemon does the exact opposite of healing with nature. It pretty much destroys nature.
That really seems more akin to X and Y, right? Because Xerneas gives life and Yveltal takes life. So that isn't, that's a concept that we've seen used before in the past. I can see them again doing this, but I feel like it would be like, I believe it was Hybrid Heroes video he made on two legendary like the title legendaries that have like a humanoid form and an animal form, because again, I don't really see them using a humanoid concept to promote a game. It seems like it'll be something animalistic, especially like plush wise, because you have to think of stuff like plush and TCG. Well,
Yeah, yeah.
TCG's less, but like plushes, like Azacian and Zamzenta plush, those were really cool and really cute. Some people, they would want to keep those. A Goblin legendary, I can see that happening, but not as a title legendary. These two seem like more of like post game side legendaries, like Calyrex, for example, something like that. Not necessarily something he technically was a title legendary for the DLC, but something you would not see on a box art specifically.
What I do like is the theme of past and future, right? Like what happens in the past is probably damage, right? But with the future comes, the passage of time. Things heal, right?
I was gonna say, when you say something like past and future, it gives me that vibe of you're a Pokemon fan. You play Black and White and Black and White
Yeah, yeah,
too.
definitely. I got it right here.
Appaloosa, yeah, Appaloosa City, how it was version exclusive, and
Yeah,
if you played Black, it was more futuristic, and if you played White, it was more past like. And I feel like they can use that as a concept and probably expand upon that if the theme is past and future.
definitely.
Like they can
I
have
definitely.
version exclusive, yeah, like time specific areas. And it kind of gives me that vibe also of like Sun and Moon, how Moon was, they were both, the games were like 12 hours apart from each other, and in Sun it was normal time, but in Moon it was flipped, so it would be daytime and Sun and nighttime and Moon and vice versa. They could
That's
do that, but I don't really see them doing that because they kind of did that topic, and Game Freak's kind of stubborn when it comes to mechanics in games.
that's a good point. Yeah, they like to make everything a little bit different with each new entry. It's such a, I think past and future is such a cool. It's like so ripe. There's so many things that ripe. That's a fruit pun. Uh, there's so many things that they could do with it. There's so many overarching themes, human themes that just like tie into past and future. Right? It's human to the core. Generations passing. It's awesome. So okay, so let's move on. Those would be very cool animals to or not animals but creatures to base legendaries off
Lots
of.
of creatures.
Yeah, definitely. But all right, let's move on. So there is a heavy color scheme in the world according to which game you choose. That's actually really cool. You'll encounter more of the opposite color.
I think that's going off of that's going off of that infrared and ultraviolet theory that people have going on.
Yeah.
That because Scarlet and Violet are on opposite ends of the color spectrum. I believe that's what it's called, or the light spectrum, I think. So that would be really cool if that was a concept that they brought to life or
Cam,
realized.
dude, I'm freaking out right now. So think back to Pokemon Red and Blue. What was the main difference between those? That when you played through Blue version, everything, the entire world was a shade of blue.
It was a hue of blue and a hue of red, I believe.
How cool is that? What if they bring that back into this game and they make that canon, not just a limitation to the device that it was once on, but actually like that is just a returning theme. That is so cool.
As cool as that would be, in a trailer we did see that everything kind of seemed natural. So unless they make that in like very specific areas, I don't really see that happening.
Yeah.
But then again, this is another color-based game, so there's no telling what they could do.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I wasn't thinking about what we've actually seen. I'm just thinking about like, if
Yeah.
literally. So another thing is that I loved playing growing up was Gen 3, and what I loved is that the main character between it was the main character actually. So you have the two different evil teams, and they're essentially like type swaps. But like when you play Emerald version after playing Ruby and Sapphire for so long, your character is just like looks so different, even though it's just a green color swap. The color makes such a difference.
Yeah. Yeah, they got a new character design to reflect on it being Emerald. Yeah, that was cool. That was really cool. They did that with Platinum too, I believe. They gave the pro tags different clothes.
They gave it different clothes, but it's for me. I don't know. Like the color switch, just it's so powerful for me. At least I don't. Maybe this would be cool. I do want to see a return to like significant generation, not generational, but version differences. Right? We got a little bit of that with where there were like feature differences, character differences in Generation 8. But I liked actually the way they do it in Gen 7, right? Where it's like truly you're on the opposite side of a dimension or whatever, right? Like if
Yeah,
you
especially in the post game when you get the separate cosmog from I believe the alternate version.
yeah,
In the post game, if you go to the altar of the sun or moon, I think it was, you can get a second cosmog that you can evolve into the same legendary. I believe it was a really cool concept that they did.
that's awesome. Yeah, yeah, and I don't know, those really stick with me a lot. So I would love to see more of that. It says the evil guys in this game, the evil team, are dressed like hunters. Living in northern New Hampshire. I'm thinking of like deer hunters, just decked out in
Yeah.
camouflage. Is that what you're imagining?
The thing about hunters is that as hunters are really common in the anime, but in terms of the actual games, we've never really had a Pokemon hunter appear. We've every evil team is themed around the specific archetypes. Like with Plasma, they were knights, and with Flare, they were like fashion models, and in Skull, they were thugs. And again, hunters are a common trope in the anime. Like in the anime now, there are hunters that captured a Suicune, and as they are extremely common in the anime, but we don't really see them in the game. So I feel like that would be a really cool thing to actually make an equal team based around, hunters in general, like Pokemon hunters, because that's like a kind of taboo profession in the world of Pokemon. So they can actually make that common,
Yeah,
like that thing in the game that people do.
hunters, or what is the term? Poachers, right? To me, that
Poacher.
this reads as a return to Team Rocket. Someone, I don't know if this is absolutely evident in what we've seen so far, or if this is just just a common theory, but I see so many parallels between little parallels between what we've seen from Scarlet and Violet so far in the first generation of Pokemon. A lot of people have been using the term like reboot. I've been seeing the term reboot. A lot of sentiments
Yeah, like soft
of that.
reboot.
Yeah, and I think it makes sense if this truly is a game that's like it's actually the first open world game, right? This is gonna be Pokemon's Breath of the Wild. This is gonna be their Mario Odyssey, right? They really want to make they want to put a flag in the ground and say like, we're back, right? Pokemon's not dead. We're the biggest company in the world. We're back. Our games are so much fun. Hey, if you're enjoying this video and want to see more collaborations and more long-form videos just like this, hit that subscribe button. You know what to do.
I was just gonna say a common misconception that people had with Legends Arceus was that they assumed that based off of the trailers that it was gonna be an open world game, which of course me and you both played it, we know it's not. This time around, they straight up tell us it's an open world game, where with Legends Arceus, it was, segmented parts of the region that we could visit. This time they say it's a seamless open world. So this is, like you said, this is them putting their foot in the ground and saying, this is it, our big leap forward, and this is our big open world title.
That's dope. I'm getting excited for this game. The next line of this rumor says that the weather effects and environmental aspects play a bigger role in these games battles. And I'm thinking back to what we were talking about, the hunters. I can really totally see like the hunters being so aligned with like the collection of rare Pokemon, not mythical, but like legendary Pokemon. They're just constantly poaching, and you're always stopping them, right? That feels like a natural progression. Like if you're traveling through the world, this open world like game, like imagine you're playing Legends Arceus, right? We have those like bandits.
Right.
I can imagine a hunter being very similar, where they're kind of just like capturing Pokemon illegally, or they're destroying a habitat. That's the thing. It's like, this is an open world game. I feel like the natural landscape of the map of the world needs to be, it just needs to emphasize natural habitats.
Do you think it'll be like in Breath of the Wild, how we had those random events that would just spawn on the map depending on where you are?
Can you remind me of those specifically? It's been a couple years since I played.
Yeah, like in Breath of the Wild, say you're running and you'll see some NPCs being attacked by bokoblins and things like that. You can go in and save them, or you'll just see like, because I feel like in an open world Pokemon game, a big thing I'm seeing people worry about is like how trainer battles will work in this big setting. I feel like they'll make them seem more alive, and we'll see the trainers like running around and actually interacting with the world around them instead of just standing there being like emotionless. I
Yeah.
feel like that, especially with like if we do have a hunter evil team, what if we're running around the overworld and we see them harming some of the Pokemon, and as a player we get to go and stop them,
Or
and
stealing a
that continue like
trainer's Pokemon. I can see that too.
yeah, like yeah, like they're harassing a random trainer in the overworld, and we go and stop them, and we can gain like like EXP for the Pokemon or money that way.
Dude, that's such a cool idea. Yeah, I could totally see that. I could totally see that. I'm thinking back to like Gen 2, that first route, or it's like the third route with youngster Joey, and you can't get past that section, and to block the path, they have two Pokemon trainers like decking it out with their Rattatas.
Oh, I remember that.
I'm imagining
Yeah.
that, like seeing that in the overworld in 3D in an open world game where it's like I don't know, you're just watching actual NPCs interact and battle each other. That'd be really cool. This is weather effects. We didn't really talk about this, but the weather effects and environmental aspects play a bigger role in these games. So I guess they're not saying like a new weather effect or anything. It would be sand, sun, rain. The thing about Legends Arceus is I liked how the actually they did this a little bit, right? If there would be like weather conditions, and if they changed, certain Pokemon would disappear. Like if it rained, then you couldn't find that
I
Rapidash.
I
Right?
believe so. Yeah,
I feel like
I don't actually remember. I do know the spawn rates did change depending on the weather. Yeah.
it wasn't like it wasn't as crazy as it could be. Like there wasn't as much variance as there could be. But I did like that it existed. Yeah.
I was gonna say they didn't really utilize it. It was kind of randomized, and it did affect a lot of the spawns, I believe.
Was it randomized?
The weather was, yeah, because you would go to
Okay.
like the Crimson Marlands, and one day it would be sunny, the next day it would be rainy, and stuff
The
like that.
the
And so I think
spawns,
sometimes it would be like overcast.
yeah, the spawns would be programmed in though, right? Like depending on what the weather was.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I think the spawns were pretty much set in stone from that point.
So yeah, I guess what I'm thinking is like at nighttime specifically, I almost wish there was like, and this is partly due to the fact that we only had 240 Pokemon in Legends Arceus. But like, if there's a bigger pool of Pokemon to choose from, I'm not saying all 1,000 Pokemon. I'm saying like just 500. I think the weather can feel a lot more impactful. Like if you turn your game on and it is super high sunshine, you're not only just gonna. It's not like one Pokemon's being swapped out for Petalil or whatever, right? Like it could be like a whole, like the
Like an
entire
entirely
route
different
changes.
group.
Yeah, which would make the even if the map was smaller, it would feel like a bigger map because when you do go back and return places, that's the thing about old Pokemon games. It's like, and we talked about Black and White. Black and White did it really well, where it's like when you play through the original Black and White, Route 1 has your classic Route 1 stuff, but when you play Black 2, White 2, the end game is Route 1 in Black and White. So
Yeah, that was crazy. I love that.
it's so cool, and you're
also,
finding level 60 Pokemon. It's so cool. Pokemon that weren't even there originally.
I was gonna. Are you talking about like level scaling? Because I saw that's like the next point. They bring up like level scaling and stuff.
Oh, I didn't. Okay. Oh, I do see that. Yeah. Okay, so we'll get there. Yeah.
Right.
That's not specifically what I'm talking about, but they did. They level scaled, but also there were Pokemon like Wigglytuff and I think Chansey, like things. There were like normal type Pokemon, but there were Pokemon that were inaccessible in the previous game. I guess
In
what
the
I'm thinking
original.
is, yeah, I guess it's what you're saying. It's like I'm thinking like you go to Route 1, it's a whole new experience, and then you leave, you come back when it's pouring rain, and now you have a whole new slew of Pokemon that you can choose from. So there's actually a benefit to backtracking, and like it's like the exploration you do, you're rewarded for it, not just for finding a couple items, but forever. The more you explore,
I feel like.
yeah,
I was gonna say I feel like that will encourage people to also try to complete the decks, considering like we go to an area that's constantly always changing. It reminds
Yeah.
me of the Mirage Islands from Gen 3,
true.
how it was
yeah.
completely randomized in what you would find.
Yeah, definitely. I still have to this day. I've never found the Mirage Island. Oh no, you mean in Oras? There's a Mirage Island in Gen 3 that I never found. But yeah, the ones in Oras. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I meant the ones from the original. I wasn't even thinking about Oraz at that point.
No, but
because the ones in the original were crazy.
Yeah, I think there's only one, and you just can't even find it. It's like you have to have like a glitch. But I don't know. But that is a really good point. In Oras, there are so many islands, and they are randomized, but it's always fun. And every time one would pop up, I'm thinking to myself, excellent. I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna do the Pogo Radar and try to find some shinies because I can only get them on that island.
Right. And
Yeah.
like I said, a mechanic like that always keeps people invested and want to come back.
Yeah.
Like the it was that one mechanic in Sun and Moon, the scans you could do, and on the seventh day or whatever, you would get like a chance to get a starter,
Yeah.
or like a fully evolved starter.
Yeah.
That always kept me coming back, especially to like shiny hunting and stuff, because I believe you can SOS chain those.
You can, yeah.
So you always had a chance of getting something.
I still remember getting Totodile for the first time in Sun and Moon. I was so excited. That's sick.
I remember I got like a chestnut. Those were cool.
Ooh.
SOS was a cool method.
Yeah. Dude, yeah, that's sick. So it does say, I guess we can jump ahead. So there are more than 8 gyms, and you can choose which ones you tackle on. So this is what we were just talking about. The open world, you should be able to go wherever you want, and it should level scale with you. So if you have 0 badges,
I feel like
your first badge is going to be the first gym badge. Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, I feel like this is finally going to be the game where they implement level scaling, because I know people are clamoring for like difficulty settings. I feel like if we have level scaling, it will give us so much freedom. Like imagine if they typically always make the 8th gym like a dragon or ice type or a water type, something along those. Imagine if like we set out on our journey. Imagine the different run throughs people would do, like go challenge the gyms, a gym that's like super hard, like a dragon gym as your first gym, and like do the region in reverse. Like start from the I believe judge about a map. I think our house is like at the bottom left. Imagine if we just travel all the way to the top of the region, fight the first gym, and then work our way back down to where we started. That would be crazy. I would love something like that.
What's the math on that? Would it be 8 times 8 or 8 to the power, or 8 to the power of KamTendo? 8 to 8 squared? Would it be, or 8 to the power of 8? I don't know.
I believe so.
For how many different combinations you can have. I think it's 8 times 8. So that's 64 ways you can go through and battle every single gym. That's 64 ways you can play the game. That's so cool. And then multiply that by how many Pokemon there are to how many Pokemon you can have on your team. Dude, this game would be incredible.
Another thing is...
Yeah.
I was going to say, the rumor says that there are more than 8 gyms. Imagine if it's like, remember in the Pokemon anime, there was that one scene where Blue shows Ash's gym badges, and he has like 10 different gym badges instead of having the usual 8. Imagine if it's like that, where we had, and then also another thing is like in Sword and Shield, we had like the major and minor leagues. So
absolutely,
if we have like a gym, I'm not going to go as far as to say a gym for every single type, but like 12 or 13 gyms we can take on and do in any order, something like that.
I don't think we necessarily need like 16, or how many types are there? Like, I forget, like 18.
I believe it is like 16 or 18.
Yeah, I don't think we need that many, but even just like 4 extra gyms would be incredible, because then it's like it all of a sudden feels like your decisions, your decisions matter, because like once you pass up that opportunity to battle that gym, maybe you miss out on a TM that you can only get from there until post game, or like maybe, you know what I'm saying, like, or maybe you just don't get that opportunity in your playthrough, which forces you to go back and play again. That's actually really cool. It's like, because you have missed out, the game is more like the experience is more valuable. That's cool. It's kind of like the whole thing with like, it's like the choice of a starter. It's like you're not just picking one starter, you're sacrificing 2 starters. Same thing goes with the box legendary, right? That's actually really cool, man. I would love to see more than 8 gyms in the game. Oh man.
Yeah, and again, like imagine, like you did the math earlier. If we had like imagine that, but like more than 8 or like 10 or 12.
Yeah. Let's pull up let's pull up my Windows calculator.
I was gonna say, yeah.
8 times 12 is 96. It just like the list goes up. Someone's hitting their head on their keyboard saying, "You don't know what you're talking about. This isn't algebra."
I'm not a mathematician, so
yeah,
I'm just like going based off.
I'm a gamer. So the new level curve, again, we talked about this. The new level curve would be for trainers and gym leaders, according to your progress. And that kind of just goes off what we were saying. Like, not only are the gyms
Yeah.
scaled, but the trainers as well. I've been talking about this, and it's weird that like, I don't know how they're gonna incorporate trainer battles. You actually mentioned that earlier. I don't know how they're gonna incorporate trainer battles into this open world game. Because in Legends, I would always get bored or annoyed when I was forced into a battle. I just wanted to keep exploring.
Yeah, because I feel like in Legends, the Bandit Sisters had sort of an area of effect type range where if you were in their vicinity, they would encounter you. I think, and this is just my theory, but I feel like they were used as, say, the experimentation of how they could implement trainer battles into the open world. Where since we're in the open world, that would imply that all of our battles will be completely optional. That we don't have to do those because if we're just out of their range of sight, they won't be able to see us, since in this game we'll be able to go around them and we're not locked to like invisible walls and things like that, like in previous games like Sun and Moon, Sword and Shield.
That's true.
So I feel like the battles we'll still have battles, but it'll be completely optional, and we can just find alternative. I feel like they're also going to make alternative ways to grind, kind of like I'm not going to say the gathering mechanic is back, like crafting and stuff, since we have Pokemon centers, and it would also imply shops as well. But
I don't think
I would say
crafting's
something
returning.
akin.
Yeah.
No, I feel like that made sense for the time, but not now. But I feel like we could still have like some sort of gathering thing, and we can get like, they'll give us like alternative ways to get EXP. So we have different grinding methods rather than just being forced to battles and wild encounter battles.
Sheesh. Yeah. Dude,
That's just my personal take on it.
this game sounds like so much fun. I'm just like I wish there was more gameplay of what the world looked like, or like, is Scizor gonna be in the game? I just wanna, because I'm already thinking about like all the ways I could play this game, and we hardly have any information. When do you think we're gonna get another trailer?
I feel like we're gonna get one if with the Riddler set is true. I feel like we might get one in. I feel like a definite time would be June, but if not that, I believe probably April or May. Especially, I feel like April, but definitely June, because that's E3 time, and Pokemon always like to do their own thing before.
Yeah.
Typically the week before E3, so
I hope that
definitely June.
Yeah, hopefully at least by June. June's pretty far away. Actually, it's not really. What is it? 4 months? 3 months?
It's about 3 months from now. It's not that.
Yeah.
It's not that far.
That's actually not. Yeah, that's not that far, dude. We're gonna be playing this game so soon. I hope this game is like. I hope the rollout is more closely aligned with the Sun and Moon rollout, where every month it felt like we're getting new Pokemon, or at least every couple weeks. That was so much fun.
I feel like the perfect example of that was. I wouldn't exactly go with Sun and Moon's method, because by the time the game came out, we had already seen everything. I feel like the perfect version of that would be X and Y's, because you don't remember X and Y's. We got like a trailer like probably every 2 or 3 weeks, and it wasn't a lot, but it felt like they weren't giving us too much akin to Sun and Moon. Because when Sun and Moon came out, by the time the data might happen, and I peeked into it, I was like, we've already seen a lot of these mons. I believe the only things we hadn't seen were the Ultra, like most of the Ultra Beasts, Salazzle, and Nominable.
And also, I think Araquanid. Yeah, for sure. Dude, I remember exactly where I was for X and Y. I was like working as an intern at a baseball field, and I'm like up in the stadium, and it's raining, and I'm like passing out pamphlets, and I'm like following on my phone, like, oh my gosh, Talonflame just got released, and I'm like furiously texting my friend, trying to like not get caught. Dude, the X and Y world was so much fun.
Yeah, I remember when that one I don't know where he is now, but that one guy that got the game early, and he was doing a playthrough before the game came out. That's how I saw the leaks and stuff. Was that guy?
That's sick.
I can't remember his name.
That's sick. Yeah, I don't remember either. This rumor also says that the professor is going to be a male, and his name's going to be Pinot. Pinot Noir. I don't know what. I think Pinot, does that mean wine? No, it's vino. I think vino is wine. What is Pinot?
Pinot. Well, professors are typically named after trees, right? So
yeah.
Is there a Pinot tree? Let me look that up.
It means pine. Oh no. Google automatically changed it to pine. Does it mean pine? Oh yeah, there's a.
Uh,
Oh, it means pine tree. And
that could
Pinot.
work.
Yeah, that's cool. There's Italian
That could
stone
actually work.
pine. That's
I
cool.
don't
I like
think there's
that.
a Professor Pine,
I like
so
that.
that could work.
That would be nice. Up in New Hampshire, dude, we have tons of pine trees. That's awesome. This last bullet is a pretty big one. Pokemon walk beside you in the overworld. I've been pretty content with Legends Arceus and the way they did everything with that, where you can just send your Pokemon out. I mean, it would be nice also if you could, if you could select a certain Pokemon to follow you. Maybe you like just press a button, or there's a command, like you send your Pokemon out, and then there's a command you can do, and it'll just follow you until you release the command. But
Yeah,
I don't.
I'm,
Yeah.
I was gonna say walking Pokemon kind of makes me nervous now after Sword and Shield and especially BDSP when they added collision and some people got like soft block. And I'm kind of like I'm at that point where I'm like, if they can't do it correctly, I'd rather them not do it until they do it correctly, because the perfect form of it was in Let's Go.
Yeah.
And like I don't, they can make it work in open world setting where they're directly behind you, because like I get that they wanted to make it seem realistic with the whole they walk their natural speed, but it really like pushed us back a few steps.
Yeah.
Like it was so good in Let's Go, and then we went to the DLC in Sword and Shield, and like Pokemon like Torterra. Well, I wouldn't say Torterra, but as an
I know
example,
what you're
in
saying. Yeah.
BDSP with Torterra, in Torterra he lagged like I wouldn't not necessarily lag, but he was super slow walking behind the trainer, and also like Pokemon like small Pokemon like really
Yeah.
small ones like baby mons, you could, like leave them behind, and they would I kind of felt bad leaving them behind to be honest, and then
Yeah.
especially since they had collision, they would like get stuck in like
You have to
trees and
release
things like
them.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was kind of sad. So
I'm
I
thinking
I
of the
think
video.
at that point, I was gonna say, I think at that point I think I played BDSP without walking mons in general because of the collision and things like that.
Jeez. Yeah. I'm thinking of my friend David. He got a shiny Turtwig pretty easy, like day 2 maybe, BDSP, and it was cute to watch it. Like Turtwig would keep up with the trainer, and now I'm thinking I hope he never evolved it, because he'll never be
I,
able to walk with his starter ever again.
I think they only kept up with you if you walked, which kind of that made the game feel really slow. But the
Yeah,
Pokemon only walk with you if the trainer walks slowly, instead of like if you run, you're gone. They're not coming back from that.
for real, dude. I still can't believe that we like are actually getting new Pokemon games. For I don't know about you on your channel, but like I was convinced we were gonna get more DLC, and then maybe not a new generation until
Oh,
next year.
on my channel, I made an entire video talking about like I felt like I thought we were gonna get DLC based around Sinjo,
Sure.
because in one of the plates they mentioned the Sinjo ruins, and we had only seen Sinjo in the Heart and Gold Soul Silver event that never got released outside of Japan. So I figured we were gonna explore that part of the game and like learn about Johto a bit, but no, they completely they're done with Legends apparently. So again, I'm really excited we're getting Gen 9, and I made a video talking about whether or not it's too soon. It's not. We're COVID's came, and I know that kind of made us lose track of time, but it's been 3 years since Sword and Shield's been out.
For real. I think it feels like it's been too soon because we just got 2 games, but no, it definitely. I think in a couple months it's gonna feel like, all right, where's our new game? But honestly, Kim, don't let the dream die. I think Johto is coming back. Johto is more ready for a remake than Gen 5. Everyone's talking about Gen 5. Like the
Yeah,
Johto remakes
if
are
you haven't,
already outdated. So
I was gonna say, if you haven't noticed, Johto's the only game we have that hasn't had Fairy type implemented to it.
yeah,
Because in Let's Go we have Fairy, Gen 4 we got Fairy, Oras we got Fairy.
that's a
Other
great
than
point.
Unova, uh, like Johto's the only game that hasn't had Fairy type added to it. So I feel like if we will get it, it'll be in a Let's Go format, and I feel like that might be next year's game.
You're absolutely right. So
Or not.
it's like Johto and Unova are the only 2 regions that are not in 3D, and are the only 2 regions that don't have Fairy type. You're absolutely right.
I feel like, yeah, definitely a Let's Go Johto. My stepdad will love that. He loved Let's Go.
Your dad played?
Yeah, my stepdad played, and I remember when I got Let's Go as a birthday gift from my mom, and I let her play with my stepdad, and I both remember they were catching Mewtwo, and they both like
Dude,
argued over it because they did the co-op together, and like he would throw the ball too fast, and she would throw it too slow, and they both got into a fight over
he's throwing the
doing
computer.
I
Yeah,
believe,
yeah.
yeah, the perfect capture thing where you throw two balls at the same time that like combines and captures them on. They did that with Mewtwo, and like they're both like trying to figure out how to do it in sync with each other because they weren't lining up together, and it was really funny to watch.
That's hilarious. Yeah, they start out throwing Pokeballs. They end up throwing the Joy Cons.
I don't think I've been this excited for a Pokemon game since Sun and Moon.
I
So
was
yeah,
I was pretty excited for Legends, but for real, yeah, dude,
uh,
this doesn't even feel real. By the end of the year, we're gonna be playing a new Pokemon game. I hope we can have you back on the channel soon. Kim, tell the people where they can find you.
you can find me on YouTube over at KamTendo and my Twitter account, KamTendo64, because apparently KamTendo was already taken by the time I made the Twitter accounts.
If you want to see the other 45 minutes of this discussion, click the link right here, and I'll see you over on Cam's channel. Thank you so much for watching, and good luck hunting.